What's your take on this case?
I mean, I think in addition to the technology issue, there's not going to be a lot of mainstream media left. As I look out over the landscape, I've seen newspapers fold. I've seen a lot of traditional media go away. We're having a discussion right now over Google Hangouts to show how we can make inroads into spreading news in different ways. So this is really an important and necessary change because the world has changed, and partially because of the technology and partially because the old media just isn't getting it done.
And Kevin, what does this mean legally? Do you have any idea of what this ultimately will mean for lowly bloggers like all of us?
Well, I couldn't be happier about it, especially since I'm sitting here in the Ninth Circuit. I'm very pleased. Yeah, it's remarkable, and it remains to be seen what the other circuits will say about it. But it's really it's great to have the First Amendment protections extended. I mean, I think what the court technically said is that there has to be some level of fault shown in a defamation case, even if, regardless of who the person, regardless of whether the person making the statements is a member of the traditional media or not. And I guess I would also say this is a great example of a case where how important it is to extend the First Amendment protections even to people we don't like, because Crystal Cox is a real creep, and there's no question about that. But the court still extends very broad protections to her, as a blogger, and also to the types of things that she was saying on the grounds that they were opinion and not statements of fact that could be proven or disproven. And the court extends very broad protections for that.
And what exactly was she talking about? The case is fashioned Obsidian Finance Group versus Cox. Was she speaking trash on Obsidian Finance Group?
Yeah, if I recall correctly, she was the people that she was attacking were trustees, bankruptcy trustees, I think. So there's an issue as to whether they were public officials or not. But she was accusing them really of various crimes. And at one point, she even said that one of them had supposedly hired a hitman to come after her, which to me, that sounds an awful lot like a statement of fact. But the court said that, no, everything she's saying is opinion. And it has to do a lot with the way she speaks, as she uses a lot of hyperbole. She's way over the top. And so that seemed to actually work in her favor in this case a little bit, because the court is basically saying, look, because she obviously wasn't, she's just venting here for the most part, and there's no, it's mostly opinion. So I think the case is, there was a jury verdict against her, actually. And I think the result is it now goes back for a new trial, where they will have to prove that she was at least negligent. I think that's what's.
And what does that take? What does it mean? How negligent does one have to be? How ridiculous does one have to make of a statement in order then to be convicted and bypass First Amendment protections there? I mean, Jessica, what would you have to say to me right now, or when you go back to your blog and write up this Legalese segment, in order for me to sue your ass and get you thrown in jail? Or just get money from you, rather. Get money from you.
A lot of states actually will list specific examples of things in which you don't actually need to even prove actual damages. Accusing someone of committing a crime, for example, is one easy way to, be sued for defamation of some sort. Another one, and some of these are kind of archaic, but accusing you of certain morally, what would be considered improper activities, could be something that you could be sued for defamation on, and probably win on. But again, a lot of this goes back to, with the jury verdict, community standards too. So what may be offensive in one community may not be found to be defamatory in another community.